Hello, this is John Wood again, coming to you from East Rosebud Fly Shop in beautiful Billings, Montana. And today I'm going to tie for you my absolute favorite winter midge pattern. This is called a Graveyard Midge. No dark meaning to that. It's just the third iteration of another midge that I started tying years ago. This is a great tailwater and freestone river midge. It will work in still waters, but the best success that we've had with it has been in moving waters. So I'll just get started with that. I'm going to start out with a Firehole 316. This is about the biggest I tie this in. It's a size 16. Here, if I can pick that up. You can tie these on, I also like to tie them on TM code 2488 or the 2488H. And it depends on the hooks. If I'm fishing a tailwater with got a lot of really big fish, I want a heavier hook like this Firehole 316 or the TM code 2488H, which is a heavier hook. When you're fishing just freestones where you're not expecting to get a lot of good sized fish, the 2488 offers a slimmer profile. So I start my thread right behind the eye, go back about a quarter of the way on the hook shank, and then I'm going to tie in a ultra wire, extra small, silver for this fly, which has got a purple body. Start that right behind the eye. I want it on the back side of the hook, on my side of the hook. Whoop. Try that again. Get started and then wrap down. Now the thing on these Firehole hooks is they are bigger than what you might be used to tying on because of the extra wide gap. The 2488, the gap is up about where my fingernail is. And the hook seems shorter, but it's not. Because this is adding the extra gap adds more length to the bend. So with the 2488, I'd go all the way down like here next to my vise. With this one, to keep the fly in proportion, I'm going to stop a little short of what I would normally do on a TMCO style hook. Now I'm going to turn that way because it's easier for me to wrap. You can see I'm not fighting the barb when I'm making my wraps. And then I want to take 6 to 7 wraps of wire. And then tie that wire off with a loop in front, a loop in back, and then repeat that. Another loop in front, another loop in back, and then helicopter the wire off. Yeah, my thread hanging right there where that was at. Now for the back, what I'm using is, this is just electronic protection foam that comes with your electronics. And I've cut it into small strips. My strip is about half the width of that gap. Tie that in. Wrap it back, and I'm going to take about, it appears to be about half of the length of the body, not quite half, but when we're done with the fly, it's not going to be quite that. It's going to be about a third of the overall length of the fly. Bring the thread back to behind the eye, and then I'm going to apply this is Hareline ice dubbing in a UB purple. And I want a pretty good amount, unlike doing, say, the body on a dry fly, where you want just to color the thread and then build the taper. Because of the shape of an emerging midge and the thickness at the wing buds, I want to build this really thick. I'm going to take it, wrap to the back, and I'm going to build a bulge back there And then just kind of fill in the gap between, but I still want to leave a gap between the front of the dubbing and the eye of the hook. Fold that over. I just want one kind of loose wrap right there. Pull this back. And then I'm going to take 4 or 5 wraps right there, and that keeps this foam from interfering with the eye of the hook when you're trying to tie it on. And then fold that over. And the fold is going to be about the same length as the back of the thorax. Take one loose wrap over that, check the position, and then just whip finish it. It's a really easy fly to tie. The thing you want to look out for is not to put too many wraps when you're finishing the fly, so that you don't want to crowd the eye of the hook. You can see that there's a nice gap right there. It's going to make it easy to tie on. Trim that foam and that's it. It's a very simple fly.